There we go. You're muted, Sandy.
Yes.
Not no more.
You do you want it on in the training room? Or are you going to sit in for the team meeting? Yeah. Yeah. Taylor will put it on in there for you.
Hey, Jamie.
So yeah. Thank you. Hello, hello.
Hey there. How are you?
I am darn spectacular.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Hey, Jamie. John McIntosh, how's your listing? He is muted and not talking to me. He took a $689,000 listing on the beach, and it was a for sale by owner that he worked on. Hi. I'm talking about you, but you're muted, so you're not talking to me.
The listing is coming along.
All right.
We just did a drone video. I sent it back to make some enhancements. And but there's a tenant in it this week, and then the tenant's reservations end for a couple months. So I expect more showings once the tenant moves out.
Awesome.
It's a vacation rental.
And it was a for sale by owner.
Yes.
And how did you wow that guy?
They were for sale by owner that I had a relationship with. So I knew them, and I had actually serviced to her sister and her sister's friend in the last year. And just basically explained to them that they need the exposure. It's a specialized property. It's a specialized buyer for that property, and they're not going to get it doing it themselves. They need full-time, 24 hours a day across the world.
Yep. That is the truth, right?
Yeah.
And because that is a good property as far as across the world exposure, in that type of a vacation rental is very popular with foreign investors. So you are, I think that's awesome. Anybody else have anything good going on in your world before we get started on the team meeting, while we let some other people show up? It's only 12:01.
I wanted to thank Greg. He helped me with value on that. He gave me some helpful insight. So that helped me.
So everybody, Greg Millar is our agent here, mega agent, that does a lot of those types of vacation rental properties, and has an understanding of value based on revenues and things like that. And so John reached out to him for some assistance. Hi, Greg. Now I see you. I'm talking about you.
Did you sell it, John? I'm sorry, I came in late.
No, no,
What?
no, still for sale.
Yeah, bring a buyer, bring a buyer. So anyway, I just wanted the rest of you to know, should you run into an opportunity for that kind of a property, and you are uncertain about value and or marketing that kind of a property, that you can always reach out to Greg. He is an amazing resource regarding that type of property and is welcome and willing to help. So I appreciate you, Greg.
Yeah, you bet. Anytime.
Yeah, good stuff. So, everybody, there's a couple of new folks on the Zoom today, and I just, that is our culture, and we do come from an office of sharing. In some real estate companies, you find a lot of infighting and secretiveness, because you're all afraid that somebody's stealing your listings and trying to, one up you. And And that is just not the way that our culture runs. And so you have help and support, not only from the office team, but from your agents too. So if you're ever in need of any of that, just reach out and we'll point you in the right direction to who might be an expert in what you're looking to do. All right. So I am going to share my screen and we will jump in here to all right. So, oh, am I sharing the right one? Do you guys see next slide up there? Oh, so that's not the right one. Hold, please. I have a video of the Zoom class that Xavier and Holly Prescott did. If any of you are interested in watching that. Oh, so I wish I knew what I was doing, Taylor. Because that would help you with this challenge that I have with figuring out screen shares and all of that. So it's a good class though. So all right, we talked a lot about you know, that there's a very good possibility that the snowbirds will not come in the flocks that they normally do to our market this year because of COVID and travel and all of that, right? And yet they still own properties here and still may have a need to sell. So if you have a education on Zoom and you can market that to sellers that are out of town to say, listen, I've got your solution. I can list your property, show your property, and close your property, and you don't even have to step foot into the States. That's a big deal. So if you have an interest in that recording of the Zoom class on how to do a better Zoom, let us know and we'll send you the link. Okay, so team meeting today. I want to welcome our sponsor, Star Title Partners. We have a new person that is our point of contact for Star, and that is Casey. And I think Casey's on. So Casey Parker, I'm gonna give you the mic for a minute.
Hi guys, sorry about that. Let me get my video on. Can you hear me all right?
We gotcha.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that. I'm having some technical difficulties. How are you doing today?
We are pretty spectacular, Casey. How about you?
Good, good. I'm gonna go ahead and close my door real quick just so everybody doesn't hear me be so loud. One moment, okay?
I'm going to talk about you while you're gone. So
Okay.
Casey, Casey is in
It's
the,
gonna be good stuff.
Yeah.
All
So
right, here
Casey-
we are.
Casey's
Okay, so yes,
in-
I'm taking over for Cappy. Cappy is no longer with Star Title. She actually retired, and I'm happy for her. I have a long way to go, but I am glad to be here. I talked with Sandy a little bit about escrow, and that all they have to do is scan me a check. I'll do a receipt. I'll get that out to you guys. And as far as closings go, if any of your clients need to do a closing in Largo, I'm more than happy to schedule it. I just need to know before the closing date so I could schedule it.
So Star Title Partners is a company that Nikki has a part ownership in, and there are some other agents even that are investors in that company. And Shira recently took over that company, or in the last year, as general manager, and is doing an amazing job at buttoning everybody up and making some really great hires through the KPA system, and offering services back to us as agents. I want you to know that even if you are using another title company for a closing, or if you have the buyer and the seller is using another title company for closing, and you have a question about title, about probate, about lien searches, about any of that, there are partners. So you can pick up the phone and call Casey. You can call the Palm Harbor office, get with the front desk, and ask for anyone to assist you. Shira we have their email addresses and phone numbers, and they're our partners. So please reach out to them with any questions that you might have regarding title. They do have an office here in our building, yet it is not manned currently because Casey's working out of Palm Harbor. If you are going to use them for a closing and we are a closer office and you want your buyer to be able to drop off escrow here, we have a system to do so. And what Casey was mentioning is that if you drop off your check with our front desk, we have a system where we will get Casey a scanned copy of that check so she can give them an EMD receipt that day, right? So that's sometimes the challenge, is that it needs to be in by 3 days. They don't want to drive to Palm Harbor. Well, we'll be able to get them their EMD receipt the day that they drop it off here to us. She's giving us a FedEx label, and we're dropping it overnight into the mail, and she'll have it, and then we go on like normal. And then if you need a closing and you want to schedule it here in the Largo office because we are closer for your buyer or your seller, then she will make arrangements with some notice to come down and do closings here. So just know that we have a partner in the title business, just like we do in the mortgage business and in the insurance business, that is here to serve. So please give them a shot the next time you get to help your seller to choose a title company. Very good. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Casey. Good to see you.
All right, thank you. It's good to see you too, Sandy.
Quick happy birthday to Jeff LaFew and to Tommy Camacho in the month of, hey.
Sandy, your screen's not changing.
I know, it won't. Oh, it's just really slow.
Oh.
I love those puppies. Tommy Camacho and Jeff LaFew in the month of August. Happy birthday to the two of them. And I wanted to talk quickly about DTD2. We are now on P&L. So you should be working in your database on anybody that has the last name P and L. I just signed on a new agent today, and she's downloading her phone. She said, you know, a lot of people are going to be first names only and phone numbers. And I said, yep. So if you get Pam and she's in your database and you need to clean her up, you'll be doing P's, which is Pam. So if, you know, just get on there and get in your two letters, and in 13 weeks, you can have your database humming and cleaned up and smart plans assigned and birthdays and all of that. So hope everybody's doing that. This is the market watch for the past 24 hours, 288 new listings. So things are coming onto the market. Price decreases 175. That is really something. So they must have been overpriced in the beginning, because decreases are only happening if they were overpriced, because stuff is selling crazy. Back on the market, 82. We had this conversation about the whole back on the market thing. In some instances, do you guys find or feel that because of the tight market and the multiple offers, are our buyers offering more than the asking price and then getting cold feet in inspections? Or wanting to really ask for a lot of repairs and inspections because they feel like I gave you $5,000 over the asking price? I think that I mentioned that because our management of our sellers and of buyers, you know, may need adjusting, right? Because it is a different market and stuff is coming back on because of the frenzy in the multiple offers. I need to win, 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 win. And then they overprice what they think they should have paid, and or overprice, pay more than the listing offer price. And so they want to then make that back up in inspections. So just know that our management of buyers and sellers' expectations and best practices may have to change based on some of this stuff.
And Sandy, I just wanted to mention too, I'm not sure if anybody else has been watching this as closely. I mean, obviously I remember all the numbers because I make these all the time for the last couple of months, but that back on market number has been slowly decreasing every week. I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers, but about 3 months ago, that number was close to 200, and it's just been slowly going down. And I think what agents, you know, we've been encouraging everybody, like, let your people know they don't need to take it off the market. This is not something you need to do right now, even with COVID and all of your concerns and everything. And it's nice to see that number keeps going down, and And temporarily off market's not on here, but that number keeps going down too. So less people are taking it off and putting it back on, they're just leaving it on. So
Yeah.
that's been an interesting number to see change over the last couple of months as people are starting to get used to this whole selling in COVID thing, and they're starting to not freak out so much about the pandemic and just acting more normal in the process, it seems.
Great observation, Taylor. And then the big thing is just that under contract and sold far outweigh the new listings. And so we are still in quite the seller's market and need inventory. So
Yeah, hey Sandy, I just want to comment based what Taylor just said. So I agree with that theory, but I also agree that a lot of the people are finding out that they can get more for their houses, and that's why they're really pricing them high. And you see a lot of price decreases because some of them not even appraising.
well, and the agent, it has a role in that, right, Michael? I mean, it's our job to
keep them in
manage that
right.
and not let them overprice based on
Right.
what they think. We are the ones that need to be really managing that. So yeah, I think you're right. Let's look at these July awards. I'm so excited. Is Laura Trundle on the call today, I hope? So Laura came to us from Coldwell Banker in January. No, not even in January. She didn't come until right at COVID, I think. And she's just really knocked it out of the park. I'm so super, super excited and proud. So she is the #1 listing agent for listings taken, for listings volume. And obviously when those go to close, she's gonna be up there in those rankings on closed. And then Tommy Camacho, #1 for individuals of units closed, which is awesome. Susan Sorensen tied for that with 3. And then Jack Johnson, #1 in volume, and Susan Sorensen, #2 in volume. Highest price listing, Karen Johnson. And then yay, Juan Pena. Juan is such a hard worker, so he is the #1 there in the highest priced closing sale. So he had a $750,000 closing in the month of July. So all very, very super, super exciting. Susan Sorensen, you guys, she does most of her stuff through Facebook community groups. And so she was #2 in closed volume. And if you have interest in learning more about community groups and social media, she'd be one to reach out to. These are the team awards. Heidi Joy's team, whoop, whoop, 4 listings taken. So help bringing us the inventory. So we appreciate that. And then the Lockett group with 4, and then Heidi Joy's team and the Lockett group for the volume. And then the Home Dream team in closed units. Look at that, 6 in a month, right? So that team has really picked up their pace and are doing well. And then the Lockett group, 5. And then Surf to Summit with Mickey. Congrats, girl. That's a good month, man. And Barb Ulrich closed volume. That was a nice month, 1.42 million. And then the Home Dream team with just over 1 million as well. So congrats to our teams. Compliance Corner with Pam. Is Pam on? I think that this conversation was going to quickly just be around the fact that even if you are doing referrals with agents, and it could be a friend or it could be a referral right here in the office where you're going to be on vacation, and so you give somebody a quick buyer lead and you're going to take 25% and go on vacation, and that agent's going to handle it. That stuff all needs to be in writing, right? So we always want to have any engagement where money is going to change hands, put to paper somewhere, and have a paper trail. When a relationship goes south, if there's money involved, it just can get ugly. And so just be sure, even if it's just a casual deal with someone that you think is super great and honest and going to treat you right, just button it up and put it in writing. So use the referral form even when you're doing referrals, and get signatures for any commissions, and make sure to send those to Cindy so she can watch out for those checks and pay those referrals out when they come. So have you guys seen the coming soon hot sheet, and are you using it? Taylor, can you pull that up? Or
Yeah,
maybe not.
just give me 1 second. I just transferred to the front desk, so hold on one
Oh.
second.
Hi, I can probably do it. This is so exciting, you guys. And if we can get engagement with it, it's going to make a difference. If you could go to a seller and say, Mr. Seller, I know you're concerned about having people touch your doorknobs and doing showings. I have 1,100 agents in my 3 offices. We share a hot sheet. And if I can get you to sign this listing agreement and put it out on the hot sheet, it's very possible that I could bring you a buyer before we even ever put it on the market. Nobody needs to touch your doorknobs. It's a beautiful thing. Same thing with the buyers, right? If you say to the buyer, listen, I know it's a tight market and things are crazy in here, yet I have 1,100 agents and in some instances have advanced notice of listings that are about to hit the market. So here is the current hot sheet. Chaz Brown, thank you, Anna Brumbaugh, for using the form. And she's the only agent from our office. So if you guys have any listings that are coming onto the market in the next week, 2 weeks, or month, let's get them on this list, because the more we have on the list, the more the agents are going to use it. And I think it can be such a tremendous tool, especially in this market, to get stuff sold within our company in short order. So finding our buyers' properties before they hit the market, and allowing our sellers to get stuff sold in short order without having to have showings. And
it's so simple too. So what you do is, this is the editable version. It actually doesn't show you all the questions at once. They pop up as you answer. But they're just simple questions, and it auto fills right into the sheet. So all you're doing is just answering these questions. They're very simple, short answer or drop down menu, and it goes right onto this sheet for everybody to be able to see. I'm going to be sending out another email this afternoon that has these links in it again, or you can search your email because I have sent ones before. And we are also going to be rolling out that buyer needs an ISO sheet by next week, which will be similar layout, and it will also be attached to this form. There's going to be a button. You can just click it. It'll take you right to buyer needs. So if you need to add something to that, or you want to look at what buyers are out there, that can be another way that you can use towards your sellers too, saying like, I have a whole list and I know what buyers are looking for. So just adding to it and using these resources is so, so, so important.
yeah, super great. And Dan, I just saw yours pop up in the chat. Get it on the sheet if you would. I know Ty and Ashley, we just took a little listing in Largo off of Rosary Road. And the day that we did pictures, Ty showed it to an investor firefighter friend of his. And he definitely said, I want the property. And my seller was in Brooksville. And so she really did not want to mess around with, you know, showings and all of that stuff. And so we put that deal together, you know, before it ever even came out of our hands. And so we helped out a firefighter friend of Ty's, and we got a listing sold before it even ever went onto the market for our seller. And that was a bonus. So use that sheet if you would, because I think it's really something special that our market center has to offer that other people don't. So that is the hot.
I just put them in the chat as well, so you can see those links there, but you will also get an email later today with them in it again.
And remember, you're not sharing that with buyers. You're not sending the buyers the link for them to look themselves. You're going to be doing that. If you start sending that out to anybody in the public eye, then we would be in violation of the coming soon rule, right? So don't screw around and get us caught with the coming soon rule. This is the way that we avoid that, is that we're only sharing it internally around to the agents and not publicly marketing the properties, right? So don't screw around and get us in trouble. Okay, so there is a new Mentor on Demand Mod Squad. I don't know why it's taking my thing so slow. So this is for everybody, not just new agents. If you're out and about on a Saturday and you've got a question, you can certainly just call in to this Mod Squad and get hooked up with someone who either will have the answer or may be able to just point you in the right direction. So Mod Squad, the phone number is a new 813 number. Put that in your phone and know that that's the Mod Squad where you can go. And then also look for emails that Taylor sends out and volunteer to man the Mod Squad on occasion for us. You don't have to know everything. You see at the bottom, it says who the broker liaisons are for each office and what the compliance hotlines are for each office. It's possible that you're just going to be referring the person that calls you out to someone else. They just don't know who to call. So it isn't that you have to be the brightest, know all things real estate in order to man the call. You just have to be there to answer the phone and point them in the right direction. So there you go. Volunteer. They're in shifts, and Taylor will be sending out emails as she needs to fill the golf side shift. And please do volunteer for that.
Andy, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So we used to have it where the Mod Squad was a phone number that would call like our top 10 agents or the agents on the ALC so that one of them would be available. Is that not the case anymore? Do we still have that?
No,
We don't have that anymore. They've set it up to be a different kind of system. It used to call 5 people in our office through a Google Voice number. This is actually a landline number. And it's a little bit different, but if you were interested in doing it, Donna, I could sit down and tell you all the details about it and stuff if you wanted a little bit more information on it.
Thank
Can the
you.
old Google
Yeah.
Voice number be forwarded to the new number?
I'm sorry?
Can the old Google Voice number be forwarded to the new number in Tampa?
I still couldn't hear you, Dan. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's my connection.
He asked if the old Google number can be forwarded to the new number in Tampa in case other people have saved our old Mod Squad. Where does that go?
At the moment, I haven't turned it off. It's still going to the 5 agents from our ALC that were originally on it until people get used to this new number, because I don't want calls to get missed. However, we can't forward it to the landline because we're not picking up that landline in Tampa. That landline in Tampa is being forwarded to another number. So you can't essentially triple forward would be the way that it would work. And you can't really do that.
So we'll leave it active for a little while, but this is part of some of the things that the Ubaldini group is trying to centralize to the 3 offices so that it's more efficient. We don't have to man it all the time. We're splitting those shifts between the different offices. So there you go. Thank you for all of that. So Keller Offers, in your agenda, you're going to see what they're offering for a refund. So if you paid the $99 or more recently, if you paid $250, because it used to be $99 for the first people that got in, and then more recently you paid $250, and they are looking to give you a refund on your certification, and it has to do with you submitting offer requests. So if you submit 2 offer requests in the next 60 days, so that's August 1st through September the 30th, Keller Offers will refund your class and certification fee. So they are trying to drive some activity around Keller Offers by offering you a refund of your fee, and it tells you in your agenda exactly how you go about getting that refund. So especially if you paid $250, find a couple of people who want to get offers and see how that process works, right? So, and seller, I mean, they don't have to take it, and it would be good to see how the process works and see what is the difference between list price, retail, and Keller Offers. So go ahead and jump out and do that. And we have partnered with other people. We used to be only partnered with OfferPad, and we have partnered with other people. So that experience may be different than what it had been in the past from a pricing standpoint. So jump in and submit 2 offers in the next 60 days and get your refund for what you paid to do the class. Anybody got questions on that?
Sandy?
Yeah.
So I am taking a listing. I just put it on the list, but it's a good opportunity for Keller Offers. So I'm going to go through the process again with it and see how it goes. And I believe OfferPad is still one of their investors, but you can choose which person or company you want to work with.
Good. So Donna had an experience with OfferPad where they asked for a ton of repairs after they had already made the offer, and it wasn't a great experience. And so she's going to choose not to work with OfferPad directly through our portal. And there are now other investors and other groups that are going to be making offers in our offer system. So I'm grateful that you're giving it a whirl again, Donna, and let us know how that goes, because we'll all learn from what happens with you. So we appreciate that. Okay, cool. Jump in there and give that a whirl. Lunch and learn. So ubaldinitraining.com, man, it is overwhelming and wonderful, and I love it, and agents are blown away when we show them all of the opportunities that we have on Zoom, but some of those classes can be big, and all of them on Zoom, and we get that sometimes I'm a better learner in person, and I really miss people, and so, you know, random hugs could happen. And so getting into a lunch and learn situation where Taylor's going to have small groups in our training room, we can still Zoom those trainings if we choose to, but we aren't necessarily sharing them with the U Baldini group. This is where we want what you guys, Gulf side, my peeps, our peeps need and want. We are going to deliver in small group trainings. So for the next few Tuesdays, we have 3 lunch and learn scheduled. One is creating and embedding videos, and that's on the 18th. And that is a great one because really, we talked about this many times. Videos is where we're going in our communication with social media. So if you, you're going to see my video program, which is called Vedas. You're going to see Garrett's video program, which is something different. And then Taylor's going to offer a free opportunity to use YouTube. So if you, and we're going to do some videos. So we're going to sit and do them and see what the lighting looks like and interact with each other so that you get some real hands-on experience with it. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot that you can learn and then figure out how you're going to venture into videos for marketing, especially through social media, because that's where the world is going. The next one is fill your pipeline. And this was at the suggestion of Donna, because we were talking about, man, she's been in the business for, you know, 925 years. And she still is challenged around having a full pipeline. Who goes in the database and what the heck do I do with them? And we want to have a mastermind around what you're doing that's working and what your, you know, what your challenges are, and talk about that, because you know, that is how the business is going to come to you, and you're not on the hamster wheel of either buying leads or always looking for the next for sale by owner or the next expired, or, you know, so filling that pipeline and letting those leads pop out to you is the goal. So we'll be working on that. And then landing pages, testimonial landing pages, and sharing. So September 1st, Taylor brought this one to me, and I'm super excited, but it's going to be a landing page that you can send your buyers and sellers to give you a testimonial.
And surprise, I'm actually teaching it today for a teaching topic, so.
Oh, because our guy didn't show up?
No, he never called me back.
Good Lord. So we had a guest that was supposed to come on today for half an hour, and we could not get his confirmation after his original confirmation, which was a while ago. And so apparently he's not going to show up. So she's going to teach this today, but I think it's exciting because
and anytime anybody has any topics that they're interested. So I have a board in my office where I write ideas down on, and then I try to figure out when we should schedule them for. So if there's something that comes up where you're like, hey, I think it'd be cool to do a small group around this, or I really need this hands-on because I just can't do it over Zoom, whatever it may be, just reach out to me or Sandy or even Jen. Like, we'll get it on somewhere, and we'll make sure that it's being taught. And if we need to schedule some more lunch and learns during the week, we can do that too if enough people do it. I have been asked by other market centers and by Nikki and Tamara too to open this up to other people in the Ubaldini group. We get first dibs in our office, so please make sure that as soon as one of these become available, you let me know, hey, I want to claim my in-person spot, because the third or the Wednesday before the next lunch and learn is when I have to open it up to everybody else. But I should be able to let you guys know at least 2 or 3 weeks in advance what a topic is. So you should have plenty of time to decide if you want to be in on it or not. It's
So-
also available via Zoom too, so you can always Zoom in if you just want to hear about the topic. Maybe you don't need the in-person.
So I love that, you know, that we're going to have first dibs, because I really do want it to be what's going on in your world that's important, that you feel like you need some hands-on training where, you know, Taylor can walk around with her mask and actually, you know, touch your computer and go through and help you to do things, because that's again the way I learned. This testimonial and landing pages, I'm happy that you're doing it today, to be honest with you, because we have a good group here. I shared, and this was back when I was an agent, so it's almost probably 2, maybe even more years ago. I had a buyer and we were doing the home inspection, and I used Lane Little for my transaction coordinator. And when she sent out my acceptance letter, in there, she would put 3 inspectors, Ed Rush, you know, whatever, 3 of my favorite inspectors in there. And the buyer, I emailed him and he said, we scheduled inspections for such and such a day. And I was like, okay, I'll meet you there and we'll, you know, see you at whatever day that was. I show up and there's a truck in the driveway and I don't recognize it. And I'm like, weird. And it has Joe's inspections, or I don't know what it was, but somebody else's inspections. And I thought, well, that's interesting. He did not choose one of my inspectors. And so I go in and I said to him, I said, Brian, how did you find these people? Is this a friend of yours? Assuming that he must know this guy. I mean, why wouldn't he take my referral? And he goes, oh, I Googled him and he had great reviews. None of your guys had reviews. I was like, what are you talking about right now? I'm recommending them. You're buying a $300,000 house from me and you're not going to take my recommendation on a $345 inspection guy? Like, that seems crazy to me. And I didn't say all of that to him. Yet that's what was happening. And he truly did not choose one of my inspectors, any of my inspectors, because they didn't have reviews. Ed Rush is a guy that's been in business for a long time, and he's not a social media guy, no reviews. And then one of the other ones is a firefighter who is a part-time home inspector, and so his big gig is firefighting, and so he really just does inspections for, you know, a few people. So my people didn't have reviews and they lost that business. And this was a while ago. And that's the millennial mindset around those reviews. So if you're not getting reviews and testimonials from your buyers and sellers, you could be missing opportunities with people that's important too. So this testimonial landing pages and how to share them is what Taylor's going to teach you quickly today. Is going to be great, because I think everybody needs to be doing that and doing more of that. Anybody doing that at a high level? No?
Jen
Anybody
is,
doing it at all?
Jen is using Rate My Agent for us.
Ah,
We watched the video on that and it looked really, really good. And so she's been using that.
Yeah, I saw on MLS, they have a webinar coming up for that. They're definitely pushing that site a bit. If anybody else had been interested in it, there's a webinar coming up. If you log into your MLS, one of those articles that pops up, and it'll tell you when that is.
awesome. So good. That's good stuff to share, because you do have to get on that bandwagon. Videos and testimonials, those are all things that we have to be engaged in as real estate agents in these next, you know, coming months and years. Upcoming events, Thursday, know your FAR/BAR contracts. I think this is a big one these days, you guys, because, you know, is there an opportunity to use the FAR/BAR regular contract sometimes? If you have a buyer, you know, and they know that they're going to need to have that air conditioner replaced, even though, you know, the seller's aware that it's, you know, a 15-year-old air conditioner, but they're going to move in and they're not going to be able to do that in the next 2 years. And they know it's going to take you know, could be a problem. You know, could you use the FAR/BAR regular contract, offer a little bit more and get them to agree to those types of things up front, right? So don't just assume that your buyer wants to use the as-is contract. That's not our job. We get to give them the choices, and the buyer should be really making that choice. Thursday, 36 touches into 36 deals in Command. This is a big one too, because this is that follow-up system that's going to help feed the pipeline. So this is along those same lines. And then creating smart plans and neighborhood nurtures on Friday at 11. Pat Miller, unless he's on, do you see him on anywhere? No. he had a link, so I just want to make sure he did not, or didn't show and we just didn't know it. Okay, so Mega Camp, you guys, so here's the deal. Tomorrow is the last day to get early pricing. So it's $109 now. And I don't know what the new pricing is going to be. They don't say, they just say that the early bird pricing expires tomorrow. So go online and sign up. It's going to be spectacular. And just take that as a $25 a week expense in the month of August, because you need to be there. A, they're going to be launching a bunch of new technology. B, Gary Keller is going to be on stage talking about the state of our company, where we're going in the future. In the huddle this morning, I gave a brief go around, and there's more people here, so we'll do it really quick. But in the past, there have been dependent agent brokerages, interdependent brokerages, and dependent brokerages. So if you're a dependent brokerage, it's because maybe Robert Slack, they feed you leads, and so you pay them 50% of your commissions because you get leads. If you're in an interdependent brokerage like ours, you can get some services, but you're really running your own business. And then an independent model might be Charles Rutenberg, where you get no services at all, but you don't pay much. Well, we are going to be rolling and morphing our company into a company that serves all of those. And I'm super excited about this because we're going to do the lead generation piece at such a high level that we're going to be able to offer agents a higher split in order to give them leads, right? So we want to get people off Zillow into our system and into our company. And so as we are rolling along and making some of those changes, that is going to be discussed at Mega Camp by Gary Keller himself. And so I just think that it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to see what the changes are going to be in our industry, what they're going to be in our company, and then you know, what technology we're rolling out to support not just you guys, right? The technology is rolling out to really support and give the consumer the best experience that they can have. So our technology is being built and delivered to really enhance the consumer experience.
Don't go any more slides. I forgot to delete the next one. It'll confuse everybody.
Oh, okay, good. You got it. So there you go. Sign up for Mega Camp today, because indeed it is the last day tomorrow to get the enhanced pricing. Does anybody have any questions for me before I turn this over to Taylor to show you about this landing page to get testimonials? Has everybody got anything going on that they want to share and or questions for any of us on staff?
We have lots of time. Testimonials does not take very long. If anybody has anything they want to say.
I just wanted to let people know that Gene Rivers is doing a 30, 60, 90 training next Friday, August 14th. If you want to register, I found the link at the North Florida region website for Keller Williams Realty. If I get a second, I'll put it in the chat room while Taylor does her presentation.
Hey, so I have a little secret crush on Gene Rivers, just so you know. I just do. The guy is amazing, right? Like, amazing. He's genuine. He's done this. He's had his challenges and he's come through them. He was, you know, had his house destroyed in a hurricane and then moved to Jacksonville and rebuilt his team. And now he runs a big team, and he's just a great all-around guy. And I've taken a couple of his classes and I just enjoy the crap out of him. So if you have any interest and are looking to make a hire, Garrett Grimes, within the next—
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Within the next months or even year, this 30, 60, 90 class would be one that you would not want to miss, because that's going to help you to overcome the fear of making that wrong hire and or holding on to someone too long, right? Because that's what happens, and that's when it gets expensive. So you want to have systems in place so that you can evaluate and make decisions out of your head and not your gut, because that's a tough one for us. And so you know, I fall in love with everybody, so I just, yeah, so
I love Gene Rivers too. I love him big time.
Oh It's creepier when you love him.
It's all about business, Sandy. It's all about business. This guy knows what he's doing. He's built 2 teams, 2 different places, and 2 different times in his life, so he knows what the hell he's doing. Excuse my French.
Yeah, he really does, and his delivery is just as genuine and real. He's my style. So anyway, can't say enough about Gene Rivers. So he's going to put the stuff in the chat for that. And if you need to do a 30, 60, 90 refresher, or if you've never done it before, it's way worth it. So go for it and sign up for that. Anybody else got anything that they want to share? All right, take it away, Taylor.
Okay, let me share my screen here. All right, so can everybody see that? All right,
Yes.
so you start on your command home screen, and it's going to be under your, actually, hold on, sorry, let me close my door quickly so I don't hear the echo. All right, so this is going to be under your websites. And so if anybody was, that's that consumer button down here at the bottom. So if anybody was at my Lunch and Learn yesterday, it's a very similar process. You're going to be creating a standalone landing page, which is what this is called. So when you get to your consumer section here, this is everything to do with your website and your app. So your branded app and your website. That's all controlled through this applet here on command. So the first page it takes you to would be your landing page. So these are my landing pages that I have. The second section up here would be your agent site pages. So what this is going to be is like on your KW website, you have, for example, mine's stratton.kw.com. So your equivalent to website. The menu that you have on that website is like a drop-down menu that you can choose your About Me, the Contact Us. You may have other custom forms that custom pages that you've done. Those are your agent site pages. So it's good to kind of know the difference between them because you're actually going to need to create one of each for the testimonials section. One captures your testimonials and one actually displays them for you. So we're going to start in the landing pages section here, and we're going to create the capture form. If you go up here to the top where it says create a new site, you're going to click standalone page. You'll hit create page, and Labs and KWRI and all the powers that be, the control command, have finally answered all of our prayers, and they have made this so much simpler and user-friendly. It is all drag and drop widgets now. There's no more complicated content boxes. There's no words that you've never heard of before. There's nothing to do with coding. It's just drag and drop. So what we're going to do here is you see all of these options. They're called widgets. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the testimonial capture form. You're going to click it and just pull it over. And it actually creates a capture form right here on the page for you. That easy. You can choose to add like a branded header to it if you'd like. So you just make sure, again, you grab it and just pull it over. You can choose to add that there if you just want to make sure clients are confused and know that they're answering questions about you. Not necessary in a way here, but you can choose to put it there if you'd like. You're going to want to come up here to the top and just give this a name. So I'm going to call it testimonial capture. And so this is all I'm going to put on this page. I don't really need anything else. I've seen some people put a video on here, so they like to have like a YouTube video or something that they can have on there that clients can see, where it's just you essentially saying, you know, thank you so much, and whatever you may want to say to any kind of past client that you've had. But you can also write that here in this section too. Totally up to you what you would prefer with that. So let's say I'm totally fine with how this looks. I'm ready to go. The next step you're going to do is down here at the bottom where it says configure widgets. This is how you edit the information in here. So to be able to publish a page, you need both of these to have green check marks essentially. That means that they're completed. However, as you can see, this one automatically has a green check mark. it still needs to be checked. If you have something that automatically shows up as having a green check mark, still click on it and go through it, because as I can see, I don't want it to say headline text. I want it to say something else. So you're going to want to just make sure you go through that. So we're going to start with the first one, and you just click it. And this is where you can add information. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to keep it super simple and boring. And it already populated my information here. You'll notice that in branded headers, your phone number does not automatically have periods or dashes. So that's just something that if it really bothers you, you just have to add in. It's only for branded headers that you have to do this. So I'd just like to mention that if you're wondering why there's nothing there. Normally it does change itself automatically, but on this it does not. So you'd have to add that. So I just hit save and apply down there, and it just made those changes. We're going to go to press this next arrow here, and it takes me to the next widget to edit. So this one, we're going to put team name. So if you're not on a team, so for example, if I was on Heidi Joy's team, I would put Heidi Joy here. I'm not on a team. I'm a single agent, totally by myself. What you can do is just write your name, because where this is showing up is actually down here where it says, would you recommend? And then it's whatever you fill in. So for teams, it would be the team name, more than likely. But for single agents, it probably is just going to be your name. So you can write, for example, Donna Hastings, or you can write Debbie Timmons, or you could put Michael Frangitas at KW Golfside. You can put like the name of the office with your name. But when it says team name at the top here and you are a single agent, you can just put your name. So I'm just going to put Taylor Stratton at, I like it to say KW Golfside because I think it just kind of emphasizes the office name again, but that's just me. You don't have to do that. You can just put your first and last name if you'd like. Here where it says headline, we're going to scroll back up. Headline text is what this is right here. So you can say something along the lines of, you know, we're just going to stay boring for now. Please leave me a 5-star review. You can put anything you want there. The description here is what is here. This is just kind of inspiration. It doesn't automatically show up there. You do have to write something. I'm just going to put info for the purpose of this. But you'll want to come up with something nice there that kind of just re-emphasizes thanking the client and whatever you may normally say to them in the sense of, I love doing business with you. It would be so appreciated if you would, you know, write about your experience with us or with me. And you can just do that. It's very brief. It's, as you can see here, only up to 200 characters. So just something short and sweet. And the rest of this, you don't need to write anything here. You can put something else like, how would you rate your experience? If you don't like that automatically there, you can choose something else to put, totally up to you. And then here's placeholder text. This will automatically populate there. And that's just, if anybody's ever seen fillable forms before, it's kind of like the inspiration questions that kind of help people know how to answer a question. You can also customize that as well if you prefer. So we're just going to say that we're happy with this. And we're going to hit save and apply again. And now, as you can see at the top here, it's letting me publish the page. So if you do not have these two things completed, it will not let you publish. So we're going to go ahead and hit publish page because I've decided I'm all done. And now I have this page live. So what I would suggest is setting up this page and getting a few testimonials before setting up the display page, because from my experience, I know a few people have run into this a little bit differently, but whenever I've done this is how it's worked, is you have to have a few testimonials in there before you can set up the display page, because it doesn't like when you try to set it up and you don't have anybody in there yet. So just get like 2 or 3 just to have placeholders in there, and then they should automatically update. You can choose to only select certain ones. So if somebody gives you like a 2 for some reason, you can unselect that one if you don't want that one to show up on your website. You can pick which ones that you want to have on there. But first we're going to look at, so this is the link I have. This is what I would share with the client. You can do a URL shortening so it looks a little bit nicer, like using bit.ly or tinyurl or anything like that, just to make it look a little bit aesthetically pleasing. But when you click this, this is where it takes me for my testimonial capture page. So we're just going to put a random one in here, and let's do Pelican Place, and I'm going to choose 2020, 5 stars. He's awesome. And then hit preview. This is how it's going to show up, and hit submit. I'm going to do one more just so you can see what multiples look like. So we have Bob, and he's at Bel Air Beach. I've known Bob a little bit longer. He's going to give me this amazing experience. Now I have those 2 entered, so I know that I have some of those entered, and you can tell that by your clients too, because you can always reach out to your clients and say, hey, here's a link for this. Can you go fill it out, and can you let me know when you submit this testimonial if you really want to, or you can just go in and check as well. So we're going to go back here, and now we're going to do the display page, and the display page is going to be same spot up here, create a new site. This time we're going to do on my agent site, because you want this to be on your website for people to be able to view. Create page. And again, this is going to be a drag and drop. You can do either a list or a carousel. I like the list a little bit better just because I like that you can see them all down in a row, but the carousel is nice too because they can scroll. Completely up to you. It works exactly the same way. They're just set up a little bit differently. So we're going to throw that guy on there and hit configure widget again. Select the list and add our information. And again, you can be more creative with this. I'm just leaving it plain for now. And we're just going to write intro. And you can choose if you only want a client's first name, maybe you don't want their city, whatever it may be, you can choose to take that information off if you prefer. But see, I can see the testimonials that I've received. And it has them all. And as you can see, I actually have the 2 I just made with you guys down here. And then I have 2 other ones. I had deleted my previous testimonial page and I created a new one on this call with you guys. But even when you delete your testimonial capture form, it's actually tied to your website itself, not the testimonial page. So it always keeps those testimonials. Even when you delete something, they're all tied to your page out there in the universe. Even if you can't see them, they still exist. So you can, these are like, that goes by the most recent. So I could hit browse and choose other ones, but these are the ones that I have selected for now. So if I unselect them, they go under here. And I would hit continue, save and apply. I'm gonna save changes. And now that's created. You should label this something else. I didn't change the name of the page, but you should label that something else, like testimonial display. But as you can see, this eyeball is not blue. That means the page is not live. To make a page live when you do an agent site page, you're going to go right up here to Site and App Settings. Go here to Site Pages. And these are the site pages that I have active that people can see. So if I want to make a new one active that people can see, I would just go to Add Page. I'd select that page I just created. Hit continue. I'm going to call this page testimonials, and this is what clients see. So the name of the name that you're giving to the page is something that is client facing. So just keep that in mind when you're labeling it. And so now let's go to my website. Click that drop down menu. See, I have testimonials here now. And you can see the testimonials that I have right on my page.
Hey, Taylor, does that SEO description play a role?
Not 100%. It mostly, I don't really think it's helpful for this page. All of our pages have SEO roles, but nobody's really going to be necessarily searching for your review page, because it's not, if I typed in Michael Frangitas testimonials, it's not, this page isn't really going to pop up anyway. So even adding those SEOs, it's not really relevant. You could if you wanted to, but you're not going to get enough foot traffic probably to this website. But you absolutely could if you really wanted to. I just don't think a page like this would be best for SEOs. That's
Right.
mostly going to be for your main page.
So if you put meta tags in there, it doesn't work, you're saying, or?
It just doesn't work as effectively for the agent site pages as it does for your main page, which is going to have more of the traffic going through it.
Got it.
Taylor, can you copy over existing testimonials into this page?
You can if you copy and paste and re-enter information. So if you're on this testimonial page and you know the first and last initial and the city of somebody, you could copy and paste the review they left you and just repost it, but it would post as being posted like today, not from whenever it was. But
So
you could
wouldn't go to
hypothetically
your-
copy and paste an old review in.
Oh, okay, I was thinking you could go to your testimonials collection page and start with those in there. You're talking about putting them in the capture page as a new one.
Yes, so the only way that they're going to pop up on this page here is if they've gone through this capture page.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And so this is a really, really good thing to have on your website, and I highly recommend it. However, anybody that's using the Rate My Agent, it's also amazing to use too. So if you want to look into that, that one's pretty nice because you can actually share it. I haven't done it myself, but apparently you can share it very easily over platforms like Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those social media platforms. It's very shareable. So I would look into that as well. This is just another option, and I like that this option has a landing page you can direct clients to. I'm not sure how Rate My Agent works with that. So I will still be doing a class on this. So if anybody needs a little extra help or had a few more questions, I will still be doing a lunch and learn on this topic. Or of course you can call me and ask me any questions that you have. But as you saw, it didn't take very long. A lot of it's drag and drop. So feel free to reach out, and I won't hold you guys over. I know it's past 1 now. Sandy, did you want to add anything else?
I do not. I think that was awesome. Does anybody
Thank
else
you,
have
Taylor.
anything?
Yeah, good job, Taylor.
Anybody else have anything they want to share? All right, go make it a great day, and I'll see you in the huddle in the morning.